start all over like this, and I still can't believe it. Oh, I can see us moving on. I can feel that coming on strong. We'll never start all over like this, and I still can't believe it. Oh, I can see us moving on. I can feel that coming on strong.
Welcome, and let us join our hearts in prayer. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this day of academic transition, for this day of matriculation. We thank you for guiding these students to this place, to their new alma mater, the University of Tulsa. Be here with us all, particularly the newest members of our university community, that this moment might truly be a time of great joy and enthusiasm, exuberance, and celebration as they begin their transforming academic engagement. Lead their steps, bring them wisdom, uphold them in joy. We pray to you, O Lord, our strength, comfort, and guide. Amen. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the president of the University of Tulsa, Dr. Jerry Clancy.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Chaplain Francis. And first thing I have to say is, wow. Anybody tell you how good you look in blue? It's really good. A warm welcome to your matriculation for the class of 2021. Students, on behalf of your professors, administrators, professional staff, and others, I congratulate you on reaching this day. I hope you can tell how excited we are that you were here, and it should have started as soon as you drove on campus today. The music was playing, people were greeting you. You barely had to lift anything. Everybody unloaded your cars for you. So I hope you can tell how much we want you here. Well done. And we also want to welcome our parents and our friends, continuing students, and others who have made time to be here today. And really, our orientation leaders have done just such a fantastic job. And this is just day one. There's 4 more to go. So great job. Your presence here, parents, family, and friends, underscores the importance of this ceremony. For most here this evening, this is their first university matriculation. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It's my first matriculation as a president, too. So, yeah. So if it doesn't go well, maybe next year I'll do better. So what is this thing called matriculation? It's the formal process of entering a university and joining the TU community. In Latin, matriculation is translated as enlisting a person for special duty. A process so formal, we wear the regalia to symbolize the importance of this ceremony, and we drag out the bagpipes. Today, you are joining a community of students, alumni, faculty, and staff, a community that has done great things and will continue to do great things, a community which its members have obligations and responsibilities. Matriculations occur worldwide and date back 700 years. There are many different directions that a matriculation can go, but we think it's important to introduce you to some of the obligations you have as far as being part of the TU community, as well as some of the new big ideas that you will be a big part of at this university. Over the past year, our campus has been exploring who we are as a university and what we want to accomplish in the coming years. Broadly put, we've got several major initiatives underway. One of the very most important, and I'll talk more about this as we go on, is that we want an inclusive, diverse, and safe community. We also want to lead in both innovation and justice. We want to be an economic engine for this entire community, and we want to work on our affordability so that a TU education is accessible to anyone that wants to go here. As we think through these initiatives, we keep returning to 2 themes that serve as our backbone, the core of who we are, what we do, and what we pledge to you. Tracy Suter, Tracy Suter, our David and Leslie Lawson Chair of Entrepreneurship, has been the spark and inspiration for framing our work in this way, and I thank him for his creativity and insights. Dr. Suter, where are you? There you go. The first theme, and your t-shirts actually are a hint about that, is that our lives are personal stories that are always being written. And a university is where we explore, plan, and prepare for the next chapters as the wonderful story of our life unfolds and accelerates. And second, that it's important to be explicit in our commitments to how we take care of ourselves, how we take care of each other, and how we prepare for these next chapters in your great story of your life. I want to take a few minutes and elaborate on these two themes. First, let's consider that each one of us represents an ongoing story. We can't say for sure what the future will bring, but as we look back on what has happened and what we've done, we can put life into a kind of order. And this is kind of dangerous, but if you want, take out your phones and look at your photos. Your photo album is a set of chapters in your life that tells absolutely wonderful stories. If you do have your phone out, I would like you to also text your parents how much you like them and appreciate that they're here, because they're going to miss you dearly. So remember to do that as well. I like to compare this to how film writers develop a story. They put together a storyboard of key scenes for a movie. Those key scenes, if you took them out of the story, the entire theme of the book or film would not make any sense. We can see how one thing led to another and how we can retell our experiences as the unfolding of a personal story. Here at TU, we understand that what we do with you while you are here will profoundly shape your future story. For many of you, the next 4 years will end up as the top time in your life as far as who you end up being. We believe these experiences really, really matter. An example of how a college experience shaped who I am today was when I was a third-year medical student. Despite being part of a big clinical system and part of a huge team of clinicians and doctors in a very big hospital, I was suddenly in the position that I had to step up right then. Even though I was a student, there was no holding back or someone was going to get hurt. That night, we had 15 women in labor, very close to delivering their babies. Suddenly, 6 of the women went into the final stages of birth. It was chaos, and we did not have enough doctors on hand to deliver all those babies. So at age 24 and just a student, I delivered 3 babies in one night. It was not that big a deal. They gave me all the easy ones. But I really did have to step up. I had to step in. It was me or something bad was going to happen. From then on, despite my age, I was confident of being able to step up on my own and do some hard things to make things right. You too will also have opportunities to step up to make sure things are still right. Because these experiences really matter, we choose to be fiercely committed to them, which is where the second theme comes in, the TU commitment. You aren't here by accident. You've chosen to be here. Each of you is committing time, effort, money, and emotional energy to this experience. So right from the start, I hope you recognize that everyone here at TU has an enormous stake in your success. We commit ourselves to this experience because it's worth it. Our time together will expand your knowledge and skills and ours. Your career path will take shape and you will make lifelong friends. Most importantly, this time will transform your understanding of who you are and what you can do for this world. It is more than what you know. It is what you do with what you know. And your experiences here in and out of the classroom really do matter. This kind of life-changing experience is not just for a lucky few, it's for every one of you here this evening. But it's up to you to stay on the path of success, and I need your help in also helping your peers. Let's imagine the next 4 years as a high altitude mountain expedition. There's a proven map to the summit. You have all the right gear, you have an excellent team around you, and there's even a safety rope to support and guide you. But even after all that, it's still possible for you to lose your way and wander off the path and over the edge. It's also possible as a member of the team to stand there and watch someone else wander over the edge without trying to help them. But neither of those choices reflects our purpose or our commitment to each other. So instead at TU, we take responsibility for our own success and for the part we play in everyone else's success as well. This choice requires us to pay attention and to take the right actions at the right times, to step up when called upon. We could talk for the next few hours about the right actions. Of course, we're going to talk about studies, habits, and keep doing your readings and going to class and eating right and sleeping right and exercising daily. But we also need to talk about some difficult things as well. Alongside creativity, innovation, and life-changing discoveries, today's college campuses too often provide examples of selfishness, recklessness, and stupidity. I'm talking about cases involving sexual assault, binge drinking, alcohol abuse, racist acts, and hate postings on social media towards a specific group in our community. As a physician, as a psychiatrist, I saw all too often the consequences of this type of recklessness on the victims. It's very personal for me, and I'm passionate about making our campus a model. Problems like, thank you. Problems like these are in the headlines on a regular basis, and they're a stain on American higher education. They tear people down and they tear people apart. As great as this university is, with its many high rankings and phenomenal graduates who are at Amazon and Google and Microsoft and NASA and Chevron and in the NFL, and our standout students winning Rhodes and Fulbright scholarships and so much more, we too are not immune to these toxic behaviors and choices of a small number of people on our campus. So how do we make progress in these matters? How do we lead the way in having a model campus environment and culture where everyone has the chance to write a great story for their life, a place where the TU commitment is equal for all? First, I think it's important to realize that the normalization of these toxic behaviors has been going on for decades. We have endured decades where alcohol abuse, underage drinking, and predatory sexual behaviors among college students has been glorified in the movies. This glorification has made these behaviors seem normal, but they're not. They're crimes. And even worse, they always have victims at the hand of the selfish and the reckless. It was these victims that were my patients. Second, to be able to actually live the TU commitment we mentioned earlier, we have a big step to take. And that is that we strengthen our campus culture of inclusion, respect, and safety at all times, where every student owns these responsibilities so that every student has the opportunity to write the very best story of their life. My hope is that your class helps set the standard for American college campuses in how we take care of ourselves, take care of each other, and the commitment to step in when things are about to go wrong. That is my hope. And third, despite your young age, I want you to actually step in before trouble happens. Before a peer stops going to class and then fails. Before binge drinking happens. Before a sexual assault happens. Before cyberbullying demoralizes a peer. Before someone writes a racist and threatening post. And to step in 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, including Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Those claps came from Mom and Dad. I can guarantee when you step in, it will be worth it for yourself. It shows that you're becoming a leader. Leaders step in. Leaders take the harder path. And once you step in, you'll do it again and again. It is true leadership. Earlier, I mentioned stepping in and delivering three easy babies in one night as a medical student. Well, the stepping in carries on. 2 years ago, I was alone in the men's restroom at O'Hare International Airport. And a man stumbled in, collapsed, and fell to the floor of the restroom in pain. He was having a massive heart attack. I was the only one there to help him. I had to step in, and I did. And you can read the rest of the story in John Henshaw's A Life of Inquiry, All Alone in the Arena. There's going to be times when it's just you as far as stepping in. With a rock-solid foundation for our campus that is inclusive, diverse, and safe for all, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single one of us can live that TU commitment to its fullest, creating and helping others find inspiration in writing your great story for your life. That's what this experience is about. We've all chosen to be part of the TU family. We all want to succeed. We're all investing ourselves in this experience. So we take care of ourselves, we take care of each other, and we step in before trouble happens. It's that simple. Now, we've identified 4 key elements as part of our commitment to you. First, we want you to feel accepted. That is safe, valued, and free to be who you are. There's nothing more exciting than a community of people all focused on doing their thing, their own thing, and others respecting them for it. It is part of what is special about America. Second, we want you to be engaged in your learning in and out of the classroom. That means taking some risks and trying new things. That means more than hearing other points of view. It means listening and pondering what others are saying. It means you must share the air. Third, it's important to us that you feel empowered, that you are learning and developing in a way that helps you make a difference in the world. To do that, we will help you match your talents and ambitions to real-world needs. And we've got this great community, Tulsa, that can help you with that. Fourth and finally, we want your time here to be a chapter of self-discovery. This time is not just about academic content, it's also about coming to know yourself more completely. As a campus, we're going to do a lot more work on these 4 foundations: commitment, engagement, empowerment, and acceptance and self-discovery. Today, we're honored to have 4 guest speakers. I'm good because my voice is going. Who will briefly share how they experienced these here at TU. Camden Schinnerer, Senior, will talk to us about commitment. Senior Jack Wood will speak about community engagement, commitment to engagement. Maria Nadim, an alumna from the class of 2017, will talk about our commitment to empowerment. And finally, Kyla Sloan, a graduate student here, she will talk about self-discovery. As Camden comes up to get us started, please join me in thanking all of our guest speakers. I almost stole Camden's speech.
Well, thank you for giving it to me. My name is Camden Schinnerer. I'm a senior biochemistry and Spanish double major from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Outside of my classes, I'm in a fraternity, on the executive committee of the Global Scholars Program, participate in the Honor Society's Mortar Board and Order of Omega. I'm involved with multiple pre-professional organizations and participate in undergraduate research of Parkinsonism diseases. The first part of the TU commitment is that you will be and already are accepted here. In my opinion, acceptance is a term that is often misconstrued today. People mistake acceptance to mean agreement, which cannot be more separate. If you like red and I like blue, we are not in agreement on what our favorite color is. But I still accept you as a person in my life because of who you are, despite our differences. Acceptance was my biggest concern coming to TU. Part of my solution was joining a fraternity. But this decision was also one of my biggest worries because I made the choice in my freshman year to be different than the person I had been in high school, a choice I imagine many of you are thinking about right now. For me, this meant being an open and proud member of the LGBTQ community as a gay man. Obviously, I knew the stereotypes about fraternities, and this made my sexuality, at least in my mind, my biggest hurdle to finding acceptance at TU. In fact, it took me months before I was finally able to be honest with my fraternity brothers. Once I told my fraternity brothers, they exceeded my expectations. They supported me, encouraged me, and saw past my label of gay. In short, they accepted me. In fact, the fall semester of my sophomore year, they saw in me a leader and elected me to represent them as their president. They looked past my age, sexuality, and saw that I had an ability to lead that I had not yet seen in myself. Well, this was an incredible honor for me. The best example of acceptance that I have experienced came from when I was speaking about the LGBTQ experience in Greek life on a panel sponsored by our student association. As I looked out at the packed room, I saw multiple tables filled with my fraternity brothers. They backed their supportive words with actions. Yet my favorite part of the story comes hours later at my house. One of my brothers that I know was raised in a household where being gay is not okay, and to some extent probably believes that same thing still, came up to me and told me, "I'm so sorry that I missed the panel. I really wanted to go, but I had class. I just wanted to say that you're one of the coolest gay guys I know." To which I thought, "You must not know many gay people." But clearly what he said has left a lasting impression on me. I'm extremely grateful to go to a school that supports and strives for inclusion, and to be in a fraternity that is aligned with those views. But what I believe to be the most important part of my story is that it began with me, as it will begin with all of you. It began with me allowing myself to accept my fraternity brothers as people that did not align with the stereotypes that I knew. And that is my challenge to all of you here today. Continue our university's culture of acceptance. Looks past labels of fraternity man, or gay, or freshman, or senior, out-of-state, in-state, international, black, white, Democrat, or Republican, and see each other for our talents, strengths, even weaknesses, and as colleagues with overwhelming potential. Thank you, and now I'll turn the mic over to Jack Wood.
Thank you, Camden, and hello. It's been said before and it will be said again, but welcome to you guys. We're so glad you're here, and I'm privileged to have the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about what it meant for me to be engaged at the University of Tulsa. My experience in high school is maybe similar to some of yours, where I went to a very small private institution, and in this institution I was very happy, I was very comfortable, but I didn't have the opportunity to interact with a lot of difference. And in that way, I was very much kept in a bubble. And that's okay, but when I came to the University of Tulsa, I was ready to burst that bubble. And for me, that meant moving into the international living community that at the time was at the La Fortune dormitory. And soon I found myself with a roommate from Peru, suite mates from Oman and Angola, respectively. And I realized that I had found the difference I was looking for, definitely. And it was an amazing experience. But I will say that at the beginning, our dynamic was polite, but it wasn't friendly. But I do remember a distinct turning point in my time in La Fortune that I'd like to relay to you, because I think it can be useful as you form your first few experiences here at TU. I was experiencing a quiet evening in the dorm, the kind of which many of you will be experiencing shortly. And my suite mates from Oman poked their head in the door and asked us if me and my roommate would like to join them for dinner. And we said yes, of course. We had nothing else to do. My gosh, who would say no? I hope you wouldn't. They did the same with our suite mates from Angola, and soon we were all six seated around a table sharing a meal of chicken and rice that they had prepared for us. And it was an amazing experience. We talked about our lives before college, our lives at college so far, our fears coming into the University of Tulsa, and things that we were looking forward to, things we weren't looking forward to. And it changed how it changed our relationship from that point on, certainly, but it also changed how I view what my relationships could be with the people around me at TU. Eventually, it led to me studying abroad in South Africa, and it led to me declaring my major of sociology later on that year. It just instilled in me a curiosity, that is, about other people that has remained with me to this day. Now, what I want to communicate to you about this story is that in order to have this amazing experience that changed my life, changed how I view the world, and directed my passions for the next 4 years, I had to leave my dorm room, but I didn't have to go very far. I want to encourage you to take that first step, like my roommates from Oman did, to engage your neighbors, interact with each other, and create something amazing together. I wish you a very warm welcome to TU, and now I'm going to introduce my good friend, Maria Nadim. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Coming to college, I had this perception that I was just going to be another student in the classroom, that the teachers weren't going to know my name, that I was just going to be another ID number. However, that was not the case. During the second week of the semester, I was walking down the hallway and my chemistry professor stops me, asks my name, and then asks how I'm doing in college and her class. I was taken aback by her words. I didn't expect her to care about me or care about how I was doing. And it was that one moment that I felt empowered to where I had a voice on this campus to be able to make a difference at this university. Just like this moment, there have been several other little moments on campus where it has empowered me to become a better version of myself and also to get involved on campus. My senior year of high school, I was awarded the most involved superlative, and I wanted to do just that here at TU. And let me tell you, TU let me do just that. This university has allowed me to do everything that my dreams wanted, but more, with the opportunities and resources that I was given. My junior year, I became an orientation leader, and I made my little group a goodie bag with star-shaped chocolate chip cookies, among other things. It was during this time, where you all are sitting right now, that I handed them out. There was one student in particular whose family was amazed that the student's experience and journey hadn't even begun here, but someone had taken the time and effort to care about how it was going to go. Again, this was one small moment where I took this opportunity to bring value to others. Now that student is a university ambassador. Being empowered isn't something that we keep for ourselves, we pass it on to others. Coming in as a freshman, I didn't think that I was going to do so much during these 4 years. It was because that this university offered me everything that I was able to do so. I was able to take charge and customize my degree plan to something that I was comfortable with. I joined and led several organizations, including becoming president of Tri Beta, a biological honor society, and Link Leaders Incorporated, a leadership mentoring organization, all at my sophomore year. Rather than just blending into college as another ID number, I had the drive to do what I wanted with the resources that I was given on campus. This is the start of your new journey in life. I want you to take this experience into your own hands and see where life takes you. You will be amazed at what you can accomplish, because I can tell you, looking back at these 4 years, I did not think I was going to be here today speaking. Finally, here is Kyla Sloan to talk about self-discovery.
Thanks, Maria. So, when people go overseas, you hear them say, "It changed the way I view the world." That is so real. When I went to Spain my junior year, it did change my perspective of the world. But more importantly than that, it changed my perspective about me. Before I went, I had no idea how indecisive I was, how I didn't know the difference between Madrid or Mallorca, or how stressed out I would get figuring out money and travel, or that I would be anxious. But TU addressed all of that, from the study abroad staff, the Alexander Health Center, my friends, and faculty. When I got back to campus, I discovered I couldn't do things the same way anymore. I couldn't just be involved in great organizations. I needed some way to take what I experienced and put it into practice, to impact the campus culture and the way that people thought of others. I found there was a new position in Student Association as the Executive Director of Diversity and Multiculturalism. I jumped on board, and I am so glad I did. Through SA, I discovered resources and opportunities to share what I was passionate about and to help other students have the same eye-opening experience I did here on campus in a safe, supportive environment. Self-discovery was not about figuring out things on my own. It was using and taking advantage of all the people and resources that TU has put together. Through asking questions, meeting people, getting engaged, and taking some risk, I learned more about my passions and leadership than I ever expected. You can too, and I hope you all have a fabulous year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kyla, Maria, Jack, and Camden. This is what we mean when we talk about the TU commitment at work. It's a combination of steps that you take as a student, the resources and opportunities that make TU available to you, and the way that each of us contributes personally to others' experiences. Let's give our speakers one more hand. In just a moment, our Student Association President, President Andrew Hansen, will come and lead you in the TU Student Pledge. But first, we want to share a brand new video that features one of our top 2007 graduates sharing his TU story.
I'm Kirk Smith, and this is my story. I'm a captain of TU's track and cross-country teams, and I'm a Rhodes Scholar. It's pretty straightforward. I run, and I work. I'm not winning any awards for my social life, that's for sure. But running is a lot more than just a sport. We're a very tight-knit community. Live, eat, sleep, repeat with the same group of people for 4 years. Coming in as a walk-on, on the same roster as several multiple-time All-Americans and also Olympians. It's pretty daunting, so I was really pushed to excel. It's definitely not been easy, but couldn't imagine doing my college career without that experience. The University of Tulsa has the facilities of a much larger university, and it has the benefits of the accessibility of a smaller place. You get the best of both worlds. TU was very generous with their support and made it so I didn't have to worry about working part-time or taking on a lot of debt, which really afforded me the opportunity to pursue research like I have. I've been lucky to be able to work with Dr. Tanakar starting from my freshman year. My research focuses on combating climate change by driving down the costs of energy storage. It's hands-on and really creative problem solving for problems that you can't just Google the answer to. Just having someone that has industry experience and experience in academia that will take chances on you and kind of see the return from that is an experience I don't really think you get at a lot of other schools. The year that I came to TU, they started this program called TU Global Scholars, which had study abroad as a requirement of the program. I worked on a solar power project in a town in Germany. It was one of the most exciting things I've ever done. So now I feel like I should probably learn German because they're kind of leading the charge on renewable energy. It does get tough trying to balance academics and athletics, but it's something that our coaching staff and the teachers here are supportive of athletes doing that. I was filling out fellowship applications with the support of the school and got lucky. I'm looking forward to my next chapter at the University of Oxford. I'm going to be starting my doctoral studies, trying to bring down the cost of energy storage to people that are considering TU. I'm grateful that they've invested in me. There's a lot of opportunities here that you can take advantage of. And that's my story so far.
You see how he ran up those steps at McFarland? I do it just like that. That was really outstanding. We're very proud of Kirk and grateful to Dr. Todd Otanikar for helping him make the most of his time at TU. Now please join me in welcoming SA President Andrew Hansen.
Thank you, Dr. Clancy, and thank you all for joining us today. And even though it's near the end of the program, I'm still going to welcome you because we're really excited to have you here if it wasn't already evident. Myself, along with everyone else up here, has the privilege of sharing in the TU community. And this is something that's special to us for our own individual reasons that you've been able to hear a little bit about. And today, we get to make the TU commitment to you, offering you the chance to be a part of that community. And in return, you make that same commitment to us. This commitment is a promise to promote an academic environment fueled by free and open inquiry and supported by ethics and integrity, both in and outside of the classroom. It's a promise to trust and respect each other, embracing our differences and using them as a catalyst to grow in our own understanding and perspective. And it's a promise to protect and improve this community that I hope you'll come to cherish just as much as all of us. And don't get me wrong, the TU commitment is a big responsibility, but it's an even bigger opportunity. You'll be given the chance to actively learn and judiciously adapt your knowledge for a variety of coursework and extracurriculars. You'll be given the opportunity to not only grow your faith in yourself and the university, but each other, knowing that we can go further together than any of us could on our own. And it's an opportunity to apply your skills and abilities to the surrounding community, leaving it better than we found it. I want you to take out the pen you were given as you walked in today. On it, you'll see the Kindle bell, which should serve as a constant reminder of the promises and opportunities that we're taking here today. And as I recite the student pledge, if you want to be a part of this commitment, this community, I want you to say "I will" after each of the questions. As a student at the University of Tulsa, I pledge to strive for excellence in the pursuit of wisdom and to acknowledge the university's foundation on a faith in God while respecting the faith traditions of all individuals, and to be of service to others in accordance with the standards set in our student commitment. Will you accept your place at this university, abiding by its commitments to academic integrity and intellectual honesty? Will you take your place in the great conversation begun by others and contribute your voice to its dialogue and debate, its search for knowledge and truth, and its goals of understanding and wisdom as stated in our mission? Will you contribute to the health and welfare of the University of Tulsa by pledging your support to its faculty and staff, its many students and alumni? Sorry. And do your part to promote its mission on campus and in the community. Now, I want you to affix the pin somewhere on your clothing and join us as official members of the TU community. Orientation leaders, if you would now lead us in the alma mater.
One does not do the alma mater sitting down, so please rise. And traditionally, you'll put your arm around your neighbor if that's something you feel comfortable with. And a little sway to the rhythm is never discouraged. Mr. Wyatt Cobb will now lead us in the University of Tulsa alma mater.
Hail to thee, alma mater, gold and blue. Praise from thy sons and daughters, old and new. Pride in our hearts, our voices, let us raise.
All right, don't sit down. Welcome to TU. We are glad you're here. This is going to be an interactive send-off. Before I do that, I want to say to all of you, parents, all freshmen, stay there. Orientation leaders, everyone, there is a delightful meal that will be held immediately following when I stop speaking. That's typically what happens whenever I speak. They want me to quit. As you will notice, over here in the concourse, you see tables. Those tables run the entire concourse, all the way back and around back over there. And there are nine serving station buffet stations. So if one is busy, go get the other one before someone else realizes it's busy, all right? Okay. Now, since you all are so wonderfully well-spoken and well-sung, you all sang very well, we are going to go out and you're going to help me do this. This center section says, we are. This center section says, we are. We are. And the other sections say, TU. Ah, now come on. You. All right. 43 years ago, as an undergraduate, I had the privilege of being on the co-ed cheer squad at TU, and I've never stopped cheering. We're going to do this 3 times. The first 2 times is going to be we are TU, we are TU. Then everybody together is going to say we are TU, and then we're going to end with go TU. All right? All right, here. You got it? Are you ready? All right, you all ready? I better hear you. I don't want any tepid fans. We are TU. We are TU. We are TU. Go TU. Yeah. You are TU. And do not forget that. And I pray God's wisdom. I pray God's blessing. I pray great faith on this campus. I pray great service for you. Go now in great peace. Amen.